Welcome to this quick start tutorial for educators on how to use Pear Deck. Pear Deck is a software that teachers can add to any Google slideshow to create interactive questions within their lessons. Pear Deck questions can be added to any Google slideshow, and students only need a computer and internet to access these questions. To start using Pear Deck, open any Google slideshow and go to the add-on menu at the top of your screen. You will first need to click on Get Add-ons to add Pear Deck to your Google account. Once it shows up in your menu, click Open Pear Deck Add-on, and a panel will open up to the right side. When you are finished with your lesson and ready to present, students can open up the lesson from a direct link or by typing a class code into joinpd.com. We will start by creating a Pear Deck lesson and working through each of the 6 possible interactive question types. That will be followed by starting the lesson and looking at both the teacher dashboard and the student view of the lessons. As you can see in the panel on the right, there are 6 different question types. The first 4 are free to any account, while the last 2 are available to premium members only. Let's start with the choice feature. This will be used for true, false, or multiple choice questions. I already have a question prompt typed on my slide, so I'll go over to the Pear Deck panel and choose the choice. From here, if you are looking for a true, false, or yes, no question, you can eliminate choices by clicking on the X to the right. Or if you would like more options, you can click Add Another. At this point, I'm going to pause the video shortly to type in my responses. Once your responses are all typed in and ready to go, click Update Slide. After a moment, you will see a bar appear at the bottom of your slide that tells you that there is a choice question added here. The next 2 features are very similar, so I'm going to go through them very quickly. They are the text and the number question types. Again, type your question or your prompt on your Google slide and click what type of question you are looking for. Here I'll click text. There is nothing that the Pear Deck needs to know from me, so it will simply put a text box on the students' screens. Same thing with the number feature. In this case, I have a question with an image from Twitter, and I'm going to go to the right and click Number Answer. A few seconds go by, and again, a bar will appear at the bottom of your screen. The next feature is a website feature, and this is not really a question, but rather it allows you to embed a website that students can interact with without leaving the Pear Deck lesson. As a math teacher, I often have students work with Desmos. So here I will type in the website for a Desmos graph. You will see a quick preview just to check that your website is correct and everything works, and then click Update Slide. Those are the 4 free features. I'm going to quickly go through the 2 premium features now before we look at the teacher dashboard. The first of the premium features is the draw feature. This I use most often in my classes as it allows students to write, type, draw, or create lines. This is the only feature where students will draw immediately on your Google slide, so make sure that you leave space for them to do so. The draw feature again simply adds a bar to your screen, but I will show you the student perspective in just a moment. Lastly, there is the Draggable feature. This is also for only premium members. This feature allows you to post a picture and have students drag and drop images on top of that picture. This is great for graphs, labeling areas, and diagramming sentences. When you click on the Draggable option, you'll be able to choose the images, color, and size of each of the Draggable features. First, notice we have a small screen on the right with a slider underneath. When you move the slider, that changes the size of the image. You are only allowed to do this once, and all of the images will be at the same size. For this slide, I want 3 blue dots. So I already have a dot. I'm going to change the color using the square. And then click Add Another, to create 3 identical blue dots. I also am asking students to drag purple stars. So I am going to change from a dot to a star. Notice there are many different images that are possible to choose from. And then change the color. Once those are ready, click Update Slide. In addition to the bar, it will show you the images that students will be given. At this point, we are ready to start our lesson. So we're going to click on this big green button that says Start Lesson. Here you're given a choice. Would you like your lesson to be student-paced or instructor-paced? Student-paced is useful for asynchronous lessons, assignments, and possibly short quizzes. Instructor-paced is great for synchronous classes, if they are in person, online, or even hybrid. These are run in real time. I usually prefer to use the instructor-paced lessons in class, then after the lesson, change to student-paced for absent students. Here, I'm going to choose student-paced. You are given the option of copying a join link that you can share with students, sharing a link to Google Classroom, or going straight to the teacher dashboard. On the teacher dashboard on the left side, you will see the slides as well as the added features. For the first few slides, I did not add any questions, so it just looks normal. Then, starting in slide 4, you'll notice that the different responses I typed in for my choice will appear on the right side of the screen when your students are in your lesson. Same thing for the text feature, you'll have a text box. For the number feature, you'll have a number box. And for the website feature, the website will appear on half of the screen, and students will be able to interact with that website. It will not be stagnant. As for the responses, I gave an earlier version of the same lesson to some friends and family so that we can see how the responses will look. As I click on the first option for students to interact, the choice feature, notice that we are given a bar chart with the total number of students that chose each of the responses. Additionally, you can drag over the bars to see which students chose what answer, or you can switch the layout of your responses to grid layout where you can see each individual's answer. For the text feature, additionally, you have a list, or you can switch to the grid layout. I like the grid layout personally because I can see more students on the screen at once, and when you're teaching in real time, it allows you more formative assessment options. The number feature comes with an overlaid layout in which you can see a box and whisker of all student responses typed in the number box, as well as the mean of 20 and the higher and lower amounts. The website feature is different from others in that there is nothing for students to actually answer. Rather, they are just interacting with the website, so you will not see anything from the teacher's side here. The draw feature starts with individual drawings, which are nice to see, but again, I like to choose the grid layout where I can see more students in one area. But there's also an overlaid layout. For a free response like this, all you will see is a bunch of pictures all on top of each other. But if you had asked students to, say, graph a line on a coordinate plane, when you click the overlay features, you'll be able to see all the lines on top of each other, and it will help you find out how much of your class is graphing correctly and who is off in their graphs. It's also nice to click the Show Responses button on the bottom left, and that means that students who are currently logged in will be able to see the overlaid feature as well as see where their line is, and they'll be able to change that in real time as well. Lastly, we've got the draggable feature. In this example, I immediately can see in the overlaid response that most of the students that I sent this lesson to understand turning points. Those purple stars look pretty clustered. But the blue dots are all over the place. So in this case, in my class, I can instantly see that students will not need a lot of teaching on turning points, but they will need some support and some extra practice with solutions. Now, there is so much more to Pear Deck than what I've been able to show you in this quick tutorial, so please check out peardeck.com for help and support, and thank you for giving me your time in this tutorial.